Namaste, I am Girish Agrawal, your Vastu Shastri. Do you know a popular question that I have been asked many times in the 15 years of my practice is whether Vastu is really a science or is just a tradition based on superstitions. Come, let us explore this today. How Vastu is a science that is based on magnetism, physical resonance, light, cosmic influences, and so many aspects that modern day science has not even discovered. How our rishis had the wisdom to design structures that maximize human well-being and performance. I'm sure that you remember an experiment you might have done in school where you sprinkled some iron filings on a piece of paper, placed a magnet beneath it, and seen how beautifully these iron filings arrange themselves as per the magnetic field of this magnet. Now we all know that the earth is also a giant magnet. Doesn't a magnetic compass align itself to the magnetic north wherever we may use it on the planet? We also know that the human body contains iron. You must have gone for a blood test where they checked the iron content in your blood. We all know that it is very important for carrying oxygen throughout the body, and any decrease in the amount of iron in our systems is not good for us. My question to you is, why will this iron not respond to the magnetic field of the earth? It does. And it was the wisdom of our rishis that they knew how to align our structures and ourselves when we sleep, work, engage in different activities to maximize the benefit of this magnetic field. And that is how we get some of the Vastu tenets. Interesting, isn't it? Waves rising in the mighty ocean, the high tide and the low tide. What causes the ocean to heave like this? Is the gravitational pull of the moon, isn't it? And I'm sure you know that the human body also contains about 70% water or fluids. My question to you is, why will these fluids not respond to the pull of the moon? It does. And that is probably why the ancient Indian science of astrology assigned the moon as a significator of the mind or man, because with the changing phases of the moon, behavior of people change. In fact, even in the English language, there is a word called lunatic, which comes from the Latin root luna, which means moon. If you know anybody working in a hospital emergency room, and if they have kept the data, they will be able to confirm to you that there are more accidents happening on a new moon or Amavasya day. Our ancient rishis had the wisdom to see this. The effect of the moon here is just an example, even other planets, and they assigned directions to them as well. And in Vastu, there are assigned directions for specific planets and signs, and there are ways how these energies of the planets can be harnessed for our benefit. Many ancient civilizations did not do anything important on a new moon or Amavasya day. Many traditional workers even today will not touch their tools on Amavasya. Is this a coincidence or some lost ancient wisdom? We are a solar-powered planet. Life on Earth could not exist without the sun. You and me, plants and animals, none of us would survive. But the light that the sun gives us is not the same as the sun travels across the sky in its daily journey, or even as the seasons change. Let's examine this. I'm sure you might have experienced the gentle rays of a rising sun, how it rejuvenates you and makes you feel good. It is true that the morning sun can increase the serotonin levels in your blood, which is one of the happiness hormones. It also helps us in assimilating the nourishing vitamin D. On the other hand, if you had to stand in the afternoon sun, its harsh rays might have depleted you, caused fatigue and stress. Similarly, in places on the earth during the long, cold winter months where there is little or no sunlight, there are many more incidences of depression. So it is easy to see that various frequencies of the sunlight can have different effects on us. Our ancient rishis could figure out how to harness this light and plan the windows, balconies, and terraces in a structure in a manner that would be most beneficial for us humans. So, in a Vastu-filled home, the windows are not randomly placed, but there is science behind it. As a general rule of thumb, have more windows towards the north and the east. So we saw how the sun and moon affect us in such an obvious manner. Similarly, other planets, stars, and constellations also have an influence. In fact, the science of astrology studies their effects on events on Earth and us. Did you know that astrology and Vastu are very closely linked? In fact, it is possible to plan a space according to the horoscope of its occupants. This gives even better results. Sanatan says creation began with Pranav, or the sound of Om. Even the Bible says, first there was the Word, or creation began with sound. Modern day physicists, as they delve deeper into the atom and subatomic particles, they are finding no substance. It is just energy vibrating at different frequencies. All objects around us, the earth, you and me, the buildings that we live in, are all emanating frequencies. These frequencies interact with each other and they influence each other. Not all of them are conducive. So how does one derive a structure that is conducive for you and me? In fact, it is the science of Ayadi, which is a branch of ancient Vastu that deals in great detail with dimensions and proportions, not only of buildings and spaces, but also objects. Because everything that is in your surrounding, if it has a conducive resonance for you, it is better for your performance and well-being. Not only does Ayadi give you supportive structures, but buildings that are made according to the science of Ayadi also look beautiful and are aesthetically pleasing. Some people, having seen such structures, said that they are like frozen music. In fact, it is possible to fine-tune the dimensions of a space according to the occupant's horoscope and make it even more conducive for them. Isn't that interesting? So Vastu is not superstition. It is a science of alignment, of balancing, of aligning ourselves and our buildings with the energies of nature. We observed how the moon, the light of the sun, the magnetism of the earth, and physical resonance of objects is all part of Vastu. Not only these, but there are many more aspects of Vastu and traditional Indian sciences which modern science has not even understood yet. We are only beginning to rediscover what the ancestors knew. If you want to explore more about the science of Vastu and experience the benefits of scientifically aligned spaces, follow my channel, Vastu with Girish.